This video is about the effects of outliers on some data analysis that you might do. This comes from a paper identifying and treating outliers in finance. So let's go ahead and look at one of the things they found. They looked at multiple different types of research and analyses. So we're just going to focus on this one. This is a regression of stock returns on things about a company. And this comes from a bunch of research that finds that the stock returns for small companies tend to be higher than the stock returns for large companies. And this result is what you can see here. So this is a regression of stock returns on some things. One of those things is the log of the size of the company or the market cap of the company. So the coefficients from the regressions are sort of like partial correlations. So this is meaning there's a negative correlation between the size of the company and the average stock returns. So larger companies tend to have lower stock returns. That's this finding here. Well, what the paper does is try and go through and see how robust this is and how much outliers might be driving these sort of inferences, the correlation that we think is there. So they first show that it works with the standard approach, and you don't need to understand what these approaches are right now. We can talk about them later. One of that, or two of them, come from this chapter. Others are not from this chapter. So the first is a linear ordinary least squares. It seems to exist. Then they Winsorize, which is something from this chapter dealing with outliers. And the correlation is still there, still negative, but smaller. Then they do trimming, which means remove those outliers, delete them. And again, it's still there, but it is smaller. Then they try what they're proposing is the correct approach, which is a robust regression approach, which mitigates the effects of outliers. And they find that once they do that, it's insignificant. So what do we conclude from this? Well, it's possible that the association between the company size and stock returns is just driven by some outliers. It also depends on what treatment you use for dealing with outliers. What they end up suggesting and other papers end up suggesting is you just need to try a bunch of different methods to make sure that it's robust and it's not limited to a certain way of doing things. We'll go through more of this. It's kind of an art. It's something you have to try lots of things. There isn't a agreed upon standard, but it does recognize that results from analyses can be sensitive to the choices you make.